Welcome to the Auto Dealer Management Program. My name is Oscar Romero. This program is offered by Kettering University and was prepared by Performance Europe. The goal of this program is to prepare managers for auto dealers at low cost and in a flexible manner. Flexible because the courses are online, thus allowing the students to choose the when and where they will participate. Low cost because it avoids the cost in time and money associated with face-to-face courses that is usually carried out elsewhere. This sample video is divided in two parts. The first part is a sample class demonstrating how these classes will be presented. In this case, the topic that we have chosen is what is a manager. The first part of the class will be defining what are the class objectives. We'll define in general terms what is a manager, what are the manager's functions, what are the manager's primary roles, and we'll discuss some topics that need a little bit of clarification. These concepts are strategy, tactics, resources, logistics, and an action plan. Then we'll talk about how goals lead to the development of objectives and how objectives will require resources. And finally, we'll discuss the ultimate goals of all managers. In the second part of this video, we'll be discussing a summary of the management program itself. In general, the management program will discuss the program goals, the program resources, the program teachers, the program language. And in this topic about the language, I want to clarify that it's going to be a bilingual program in the sense that we'll be discussing not only topics in the language of the OEMs, but we'll also be talking about in the language of the retail dealers, of the distributors. And it's important that we manage both languages with preference towards the dealers. I hope you enjoyed this video. The objective of this part of the video is to demonstrate the format we will use for each class. It will be a presentation in PowerPoint, previously taped, but with the participation online of the teacher. The video can be stopped at any moment to discuss any specific topic, an inquiry made by students. And it will continue the discussion until the inquiry is satisfied. Once the inquiry is satisfied, we will continue with the video. The class itself, including these discussions, will also be taped and will be available online. There are many types of managers. Every industry, every company, every manager has his own management style. This is a general explanation of this function, and it is intended to give you the basis for the development of your own management style. The objective of this class is to explain what is a manager, what are the manager's functions, what are the manager's roles, and it will be focused and limited to the management within an auto dealership. What is a manager? A significant part of the manager's time is devoted to planning, strategizing, and gauging results. A manager devises the goals and the strategy to achieve those goals. The manager defines what needs to be done. The manager is the leader of the team. It directs its actions and administers its resources. You have to remember that resources are not unlimited. They are limited. And it's important to administer them properly and give them to the right person at the right time. What are the primary roles of a manager? First of all, he's a planner. He leads a team in developing and executing the plan. Secondly, he's an organizer. He organizes a team to support the goals and objectives of the plan. He's a staffer. He selects the appropriate person for each function and activity. Other roles of a manager include being a controller. He ensures that all teams stick to the plan, achieving their objectives on time and with the resources allocated to them. This is very difficult. Some people don't really understand what the impact of their objectives have on the other teams. And it's the manager's job to explain it. What you're doing has an impact on what he's doing. And what he's doing has an impact on what you're doing. You are not working alone. We're working as a team. He's a leader. He provides vision, guidance, motivation, enthusiasm, and coaching to the team. This is a very important part of the manager. As I've said before, he's not a doer. He's a thinker. And he's thinking about what is the vision? What is it we want to achieve? He's guiding them to that direction. He's motivating the people, keep on working. Do the best you can. It doesn't matter if you make a mistake. Just keep on going. He's enthusiasm. He has to be lively. He has to give people a jolt of energy, like a live wire, and he has to coach his team because nobody's perfect. Somebody's going to make mistakes sooner or later, but that is not a mistake. That is an improvement opportunity. That's how he should see it. Before we go further, it's convenient to clarify some terms. Strategy. It describes what and when things should be done. Basically, this is a vision of what we want to achieve. Tactics. It describes how we're going to achieve it. There are many tactics that we can use, but we're going to choose one or the other, whichever is more convenient to us. We may change our tactics if we find that they are not helping us support our objectives. But the important thing is this is how we're going to do things. Resources. Since we defined how we're going to do things, now we need to define what we need to do it with. What kind of cash do we need? What kind of knowledge? What kind of equipment? What kind of tools? These are the resources that we're going to evaluate. We also need logistics. We know we have these resources that we need. We need for them to be supplied to us on time and in the place where we need them. And then there's the action plan. The action plan is basically a summary of all the above. All of those things we talked about have to be put on a piece of paper somewhere so that the other members of the team can look at it, understand when they will participate, how they will participate, and what we expect for them to achieve. Goals lead to objectives. We have some goals that are defined for a company. These are strategic goals that refer to growth of the company, survivability of the company, something that will be defined by the situation the company is in right now. So in this case, for example, we want to increase productivity by 5% a year, and we also want to increase profitability by 10% a year. So for these goals, we need an objective. The objectives for increasing productivity are going to be increase sales a month by 5%, reduce staff rotation by 10% a year, increase training for the personnel to 40 hours a year per person. For the goal of increasing profitability, we have other objectives. And these are reduce fixed costs by 10%, review marketing strategy, increase pricing by 5%, bring down publicity by 10%, and reduce events by 25%. Objectives requires resources. If we look at the objectives of the previous slide, we want to increase sales. We want to reduce staff rotation. We want to increase training. So what kind of resources do we need for that? Well, the resources are going to be time, money, tools, equipment, material. So we want to increase product availability by 5%. We want to sell more, we need more. We want to increase salaries and benefits by 10% to reduce staff rotation. That's one action we can do. There's other actions we can take. We want to increase training, so we have to contract a training institution, and that's going to have a cost. So every objective we have will require some kind of resource to support it. Okay, we eliminate overtime by 100%. We increase pricing by 10%. The important thing about objectives and resources is they have to be quantified. If we want to do something, we have to put a number to it. A number is an objective that can be reached reasonably, but also that can be measured. If we can measure it, we can improve it. Managers can have many goals, but these goals will each support the ultimate goals. Sustainability. Sustainability is the health of the company. It has to provide for itself enough money to survive. And growth. It has to create growth opportunities for itself as a company, for its products, for its departments, for its people. This management program has been developed together with Kettering University from Flint, Michigan, and a group of executives from the auto industry. The teachers, the executives, have worked for OEMs and have worked for dealers. Personally, I've sold cars and I've done service at dealerships. And I worked at business development for OEMs, and I've been a manager in both areas. So there's a lot of experience, there's a lot of knowledge, and we hope that this will support the objectives of other persons who want to be managers and want in this function within the auto industry. What you have seen previously is an example of what we will be doing in classes to train managers for auto dealerships. The goal of this program is to help develop managers for auto dealerships in the areas of general management, sales, and aftermarket. We will give them the tools so they can improve on their skills and abilities. How will this program work? Well, first of all, the classes will be online and synchronous. This means the teacher is giving the class online on the other side of the screen, while on this side of the screen, the students are watching, but they can make their questions simultaneously. They can ask something right there, and they will get a response to their question. Not all of the students can participate in this kind of class, so these classes will be videotaped and available online so that someone can see them later. The same students can see it again, or some new students can see the class. Unfortunately, for those who are seeing it for the first time videotaped, they will not be able to make their questions and have an answer by the teacher immediately. So the solution to that is online chats where the teachers and the students can share. They'll put their questions, they'll receive their answers. It will happen at any moment in time. The program teachers, where do they come from? Well, a group of the teachers come from the auto industry, from the OEMs, brands like Ford, General Motors, Chrysler, VW, Daimler-Benz, Mitsubishi, Mazda, and others, where they have implemented training programs or have implemented plans to create dealer nets or to introduce new programs to products. Some of the teachers come from the dealer net itself. They've worked at dealers, they know how dealers function, they know what the objectives of dealers are, and they can help very much to communicate what the information is coming from the OEMs to the dealer. But more importantly, they know how to make a plan for a dealer. And some of the teachers come from Kettering University. The theoretical part of this classes is important because it supports the practice, and a combination of theory and practice adds a lot of value to this training. An interesting aspect of this training is that we'll be speaking various languages. We'll be speaking the retail and wholesale language. This means that the people that are giving these trainings speak the language of the dealer and they speak the language of the manufacturers. And this is important because they have to talk to each other and they have to understand what each one is saying. But we also speak the language of theory and the practice. We'll be accompanied by professors from Kettering University that will also give some courses, very theoretical, but that are needed to support the practice. We truly appreciate the time and attention you have given this video, and we hope to hear from you soon. We want to help you develop your leadership through your managers. Thank you.